Hello and welcome to another episode of the Amplified Chicago podcast. This episode, we are talking to Ben Astrachan of Astrachan. We're about to have a lovely conversation. We used to record our intros after we filmed the interview, so it was a lot easier to vamp, but now it just isn't. So we'll just roll right into it. Ben, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good today, Will.
You were saying on the way in that you're about to take off.
Yes.
For a small tour before a larger tour.
Yeah. Headed to tomorrow. We do Madison, playing the Gamma Ray Bar, and then the next day on Friday playing Milwaukee at the Falcon Bowl, or maybe the Falcon Hall is what it's called.
That sounds awesome either way.
Yeah. We start with a
question.
Super
lame question. But what was your start with, flirting with a career in music? What made you interested? What were your beginnings? What do you got for us?
Well, my start with a career in music. So I've been doing music stuff kind of all my life. I've been a singer for most of my life, been a part of choir and that kind of thing. And I went to school for theater, so I was like kind of first and foremost studying performance and all that jazz. And then I met Austin, who was just here with us actually, recording a live show with Amplified
session with
Smushy. And I play in Smushy as well. And we were he hates it when I tell this, but I think it's funny. We were in an a cappella group called Voicemail. It was an all-male a cappella group. He's going to be really mad.
That's a really good name.
Yeah.
Do you guys think so?
Was it like a school-sponsored a cappella group, or was it like a...
So the school we went to was funny because it prided itself on having the most clubs per people, I think, that went to the school. And if you wanted to be sponsored by the school or get money from the school, you had to be all inclusive. You had to allow everyone in. But this was one of the a cappella groups that you had to audition to get into. So it was not.
There's a
slight
flex. There's a small flex in there. Yeah.
What school?
It's called Brandeis.
Where's that?
It's just outside of Boston.
Okay.
Oh, I'm from Massachusetts.
Oh, where in
I'm from
Mass?
Western Mass.
Nice.
In,
like
Richmond
Northampton
and Stockbridge. No,
nice.
further.
Gotcha.
Like right up against New York.
Oh, nice.
But yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Connecticut originally, so spent a lot of time in the Mass area.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of we also went to school with our friend Ryan Gebhardt, who maybe you know his music, great solo artist based out of Minneapolis right now. Highly recommend his stuff. But yeah, it was so kind of started off there. Austin had a little tape recorder in his he had a reel to reel, and we would mess around. We wrote this song together called The Jolly Rancher Salesman, which is a very goofy song you can find on Bandcamp. We have a shared project called Berta Big Toe. And we released a record last year. So kind of my start with like making this type of music was, early in college. And yeah, started toying around probably during COVID, honestly, started toying around with the idea of like more of a career thing because I, for a time, like many folks, it wasn't working. I was on furlough at the hospital I worked at because they were like paring down during COVID. I was a counselor. I am now a counselor again. But then during COVID, I spent a lot of time like recording my first record and wanting to really kind of lock into that. There wasn't much to do, so
yeah,
I just locked into recording a record, and then I put out my first record in like 2021. Yeah.
You met Austin in college, is that what you said?
Yeah.
And then when did you move to Chicago?
Moved to Chicago in 2019. I had just graduated college, and then I moved after that summer in 2019.
What about Chicago called out to you?
Well, I have some family here, so that was really nice. My aunt and uncle and some cousins live here. But also just the music scene in general is so strong. I feel like I have a lot of heroes here and have since like met my heroes, which is pretty funny. It's pretty easy to like become friends with the people you look up to in Chicago. I don't know if that's the case in other cities, but yeah, maybe because it's more affordable and like a smaller town. It's easier for everyone to feel like there's an abundance and not like we're grasping for certain things.
I mean, everyone here is so friendly and accepting too, and it's such a community. It doesn't feel very competitive. It just kind of feels like everyone, I feel like we talked about this at one point, but everyone's kind of got their circles where it's like a handful of bands all like each other and play with each other and share a studio space. And these circles are all, instead of it being like cliques, the circles are all very kind of inviting. It's just if your sensibilities align with whoever's in there, you know, you'll usually wind up running with them.
Yeah.
Who were some of those influential artists that you got to know?
Before moving here, I was really into and still am, but like before I had met and known folks, I was really into the bands. I was really into Paul Cherry, who I like loosely became friends with before he moved to LA. Mm-hmm. He actually recorded like an EP with J.W. Francis, who is a dear, dear friend of mine. So that felt kind of small world after that. And then also the Post Animal guys became friends with Javi, who has his solo project called Javier Reyes, which is just amazing like indie pop music. Yeah, and like he's one of the best guitarists I've ever encountered. And you know, moving to Chicago is easy. I was just like, hey, you want to go bowling one time? And we actually didn't go bowling because COVID happened, but we ended up hanging out after that. And he like played in my band for like a hot second. So it's very easy to kind of like, or maybe I was just lucky meeting some of the nicest folks in Chicago. I don't know, but such an openness and like like I love making music, so I'll make music with anyone.
Yeah. There's a lot of overlap with like people playing in multiple different bands and stuff, but just in a very, I don't know, big community type of way. Yeah. And I keep harping back to like how it is affordable here, so there really is an abundance. No one feels like it's like, I feel like in New York or LA there can be this like, oh, what's mine is mine and you can't have it. Yeah. But in Chicago you can definitely you find a lot less of that way of living. Did you notice, so I know like the Paul Cherry Post Animal, that was like 2016, 19, around then. Yeah. I feel like the music scene has turned so far more like hardcore now. Like, have you noticed that kind of shift at all? I'm curious if like, I feel like the shift I noticed was like country. Yeah, it's like hardcore and then like country and folk. Yeah. Wait, I'm curious though, what is the like can you name a few hardcore? I guess it depends on projects? The specific like definition, because I could be defining it a little wrong, but like Dondry, Scarlett D'Amour, they're more like alternative rock. Even Yada Yada and stuff. Like, it's just gotten a lot heavier than it used to be, I feel like. In the like alternative rock scene. And I don't know, I've just found that shift interesting, and I wonder if we'll like turn back around to the more like indie rock at a certain point again. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I feel like even in my music I had kind of this shift of like, I was like singing in my falsetto and like playing very quietly, and then there was a shift in my crew where we were like, oh, we love distortion, we love like saturation, all this stuff, like just crunch it up, step on it. And now our shows are much more lively and more like rock
forward. It's also just more fun. It's more fun to see a live show like that, I find.
Yeah.
Like I much prefer listening to maybe chiller stuff because it's more pleasing to like my little ears. But the vibe of a live show is, thrashing around, hitting people.
I also think that like people, I mean, concert goers, I can't speak to, I grew up in Massachusetts. There was not a music scene. There was no concert scene because I grew up in rural Mass and there's just nothing there. So coming here, I don't know if this is a new thing, but people are just not super respectful all the time at concerts. And it seems like it would be kind of a difficult thing to be like, all right, everyone, I'm here to play some folk music.
Yeah, right.
So let's all quiet down for a second and listen to my ballad of my troubles. It's like
people are talkers.
People are talkers. Yeah. My coworker told me today about how their aunt used to have a stack of business cards that just said "stop talking" on them, and they'd give them out at shows to people.
Wow.
But people are just, I don't know. There's a lack of patience and listening to slower things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, not to talk about COVID again, but I do think COVID was kind of a big part of that shift because, like, I feel like before, this is a theory I have that I just could be wrong about, but before COVID, before we like knew that isolation, and before we weren't like hanging out in these public spaces, there was kind of, everyone knew what a show was for, what a play was for, what a public space was for, and it was, whatever that may be, it was for, listening to the performer or listening to the person who is like telling the story. And now I feel like when COVID happened and then these pods grew out and people were hanging out less in groups, when everyone got vaccinated and we came back to live music, everyone was just happy to be in that space with each other. So everyone was just talking. Because I feel like before COVID, I would go to shows and people were much quieter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
I never made the COVID connection with the change in the scene either, but that makes total sense.
It could totally be part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, switching topics, you have a new album coming out in October 31st, Halloween, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Spooky.
That's a great release date.
I know.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the recording process for it? If it was like any different from your last few albums, who you worked with?
Yeah, so I actually do everything myself.
Cool.
Which is fun. I have a Tascam 388 in my bedroom, which is really special, fun, and nice. I kind of, the way I've always worked in tape and in analog.
Mm-hmm.
I used to just do like a little 4-track cassette records and stuff, and then I started using this Fostex A8, but for this last record, it was all Tascam 388. And yeah, I did pretty much all the instrumentation myself, except for a few songs, maybe like 5 or 6 songs. Zach Taylor is the drummer, who's the same drummer as the Smushy drummer. Awesome player. Want him to get $1 million because he deserves it. Yeah, and I worked a little bit with my friend Ivan, who's also my housemate. He helped with some of like the vocal arrangements. But yeah, it pretty much a similar process. The way I like to work is turn on the tape machine, create a loop, like a drum loop, and then write to that kind of beat or vibe that I've created, and then write the song, and then just immediately print it. So I try to fly kind of as fast as possible. My goal is to like do a record a year or like 2 records a year. So obviously there are a few songs on this that were written before, and like I brought in a drummer or another player to help on, but a lot of the tunes you'll hear on this record were just kind of turned on the tape machine and written right then and there and finished within like a day or two.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Can you talk about recording on analog versus recording digitally, and what about that speaks to you?
Yeah, well, one of the things I love about at least my tape machine that I have, the Tascam 388, is it's a mixer and reel-to-reel, so it's all in one place. You have the EQ, you have the panning, you have effects in and out that you can use. You can just like plug your pedals into. So you can kind of like do everything really fast. The workflow is amazing. And because it's only 8 tracks, it really kind of locks you into your decisions. So, the way that maybe the reason why I like to write songs this way is because it forces me to like not have make a million decisions. It allows me to only, I know with bouncing, I'm only going to have like 14 tracks. So yeah. And one of the special things about these machines and other machines as well is the preamps or the transformers that they use. I don't know if the Tascam 388 has transformers, but it has really nice preamps. So when it's recorded, it just automatically gives it this warmth and deliciousness and just taste that is so good, and you like can't really get with emulation or if you're just recording straight into the box. I've maybe gone into a studio a couple of times, but I've always had trouble with that because A, I'm a control freak, and B, I think so much of the artistry and and that kind of stuff, and I think it's so much part of the writing of the music, and I also think that those machines are like kind of an instrument in themselves. I was reading this thing that, like a little while ago, that Jeff Tweedy said, another Chicago star, who doesn't get his due. No, I'm just kidding. He said something like, if you're an artist, you should go to a studio. You should record, so someone else should record you, because as an artist or as a songwriter, your job should just be the song and the play and the performance of that song, which I want to push back on a lot, because I can't afford to go to a studio. I can't afford to have a producer. I mean, yeah, I spent money getting this tape machine, but it's been such a good investment for me because since getting this tape machine, I haven't had to go to a studio for the last 6-7 years. And it's like impossible to make money in this business. So, I think, looking at it as an instrument, as like part of the recording process and as another player in the room, flips it on its head, and it puts it in a space that you can't really get digitally. I don't think, at least. I have trouble. I have trouble feeling good when I record to a computer, but also like I listen to other people's records that were all on computer. I'm like, this is fucking sick. But my own voice, I have trouble sometimes. Yeah.
That makes sense. So the album was recorded on analog. It comes out on October 31st. Mm-hmm. What else can you tell us about it?
So it was written at a pretty intense time, as we all know. I'm Jewish, but I'm an anti-Zionist Jew, and a lot of my like Jewish practice is like rooted in anti-Zionism and in that political realm. So I was thinking a lot about Israel and Palestine and about the destruction of Gaza and how the world has ended already for so many people, And, you know, we're all in America thinking like, oh, the world feels like the world is going to end, feels like the world is going to end. But the world has actually already ended for so many people. So that is where this record kind of came out of, just a lot of thinking and reflecting on my my ancestors and my beliefs, and reckoning with its complicity in genocide and destruction of a people and a place. And I think, you know, I think a lot of people are right now are kind of writing kind of similar, like apocalyptic, reckoning with God, reckoning with themselves, in the music world, because I think a lot of people in music are similarly thoughtful in that way. So that's been like a really cool trend to see. But yeah, that's where this record comes out of. My friend wrote a really nice bio about the record that I can't remember off the top of my head.
Is that what you shared on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading that. Would you call it a concept album then, based around that, or?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. It's a lot of songs that are just kind of thrown together, like haphazardly. There are definitely concepts, motifs, and themes that are strung throughout the record, but I wouldn't say that it is a concept album, because I think it feels more of like a compilation of songs of that time in my life.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you find that you made any new discoveries kind of within yourself writing all of this? Was it mostly just getting down your thoughts and your feelings and working through them, or did you kind of discover new thoughts and feelings through the process?
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, musically, one of the things that I've really loved is I've started screaming. I've started yelling a lot more in my music. Maybe screaming is the wrong word, but just like singing loudly and more boldly. Whereas like before, I mentioned, I was singing kind of in my soft falsetto, and felt very like 2019, 2018, 2017. And it's felt really good to, you know, go more into that like rock mode, rock and roll mode. But thematically, did I feel like I made any discoveries? That's a good question. I don't know. I can't really think in the moment about that. It's hard for me to like come up with something in the moment about that. Yeah. It feels like I probably did, but I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even always know, but I don't know.
Within you.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who did the cover art for it?
My buddy Felipe Dupuy, who is an amazing artist and animator. Do you know Simpletown? Have you ever seen any of their stuff online?
Sounds kind of familiar.
They're like a sketch comedy group based out of Brooklyn, I think, maybe New York, I don't know. So funny. He grew up in the same town as me, and I just saw he like posted that picture of the art, and I was like, hey, can I buy this off you? And he was like, just have it for free. I don't give a fuck. So that was really cool of him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're setting out on tour soon.
Yes.
Are you excited? What are your most highly anticipated spots to hit? Are there any specific places that you like to hit in those cities and areas?
Yeah. The first, it's going to be an interesting run, at least in October, because the band is a little bit in flux, because a few other members are going on tour for other bands and stuff. So, it's kind of a new crew, which feels exciting and fresh. And it's not something I've done in a long time, play with other musicians. So I'm both excited and nervous for tour and because of that. The places I'm most excited for right now are probably, I mean, I just love going to the East Coast because I'm from there. I really hope, I'm really excited to play New York. Love playing New York. It's going to be Brooklyn. We're playing Alphaville on November 8th. And I always love playing Radio Bean, which is in Burlington, Vermont. My homie Ben is the talent buyer there and is just the best. And that's just such a great town. I love Burlington, Vermont. Yeah, I love Burlington. We actually played a show there last year for Radio Bean. Radio Bean hosted the Bird Song Festival there, which is like a little festival run by some homies of mine. And do you know the band Death?
No.
They're like one of the earliest punk bands ever. It's like a black punk band, and they were like one of the first.
Them. Yeah.
And they live in Burlington, or maybe one or two of them lives in Burlington, and they like came to my set, and watched, and then they went like, nice, and then they left. Huge. And that was maybe my peak.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah.
Are there any places that you haven't traveled to for tour before that you would love to at some point?
I'm really excited because I recently signed with a booking agency in Europe, and I'm planning a Europe tour in May of 2026. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like 3 weeks in a lot of the German-speaking countries.
How does that work with like booking agencies and other did you reach out? Did they reach out to you?
They reached out to me, actually.
Coordinate?
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is nice. That's kind of how they say it should go.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with that. I feel like if you want something, reach out for it, and maybe it'll work out.
Ways,
yeah, it can go both ways for sure. And it definitely has, for sure. But I feel like a lot of the time, I don't know. I actually cold emailed a booking agency a little while ago that I wanted to work with, and they were like, "Hey, we dig your stuff, but like, just so you know, like if you're reaching out to me, it's probably not the time."
Damn.
But maybe down the line, you know. And I was
wow.
like, "Damn, that's
cold.
That's harsh.
Yeah, that's fucked up." Wow. Okay.
Not saying any names. Warner Brothers. I'm just kidding.
The Warner Brothers. Both of them said, "Not today."
Not today.
Do you speak any other languages other than English?
No, sadly, I don't.
You think you'll try to learn some German or Dutch or something?
Well, I can like read Hebrew because I was bar mitzvahed, so that's cool. And I studied Chinese for like 6 years, so I should be able to speak Chinese.
Well, when did you study it?
In high school and college.
That doesn't last.
Yeah. But I can like order food in Chinese, and I also can read Tibetan because I studied abroad in Nepal, and I studied Tibetan language.
Wow.
So I did like an immersive thing there. So I can read really well in Tibetan, but I don't know what any of it means.
So a lot of good stuff that's not going to help you at all on your European tour.
No. I'll be fucked there.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
They all speak English there anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if they're coming to the shows, all the American shows.
Yeah.
They know what they're getting into. I wanted to circle back quick, unless you've got anything else, Meriah, about the album specifically. I wanted to circle back to you saying that you're a bit of a control freak. What is it like making albums? You've got a couple albums that are projects with other people. What is that like if you feel like you're such a control freak?
Well, I'm pretty good at letting go when I'm in a collaborative space. So when it comes to my music, let me say, when it comes to my music, I'm pretty controlling, and I want things to go a certain way, sound things a certain way. But I think collaboration is a very important skill to have, especially in music. And that is something I've worked on for a long time. So when I work on these other projects, I really try and let go. One of the things that Austin and I do when we record for Bird of Big Toe is we'll bring a lot of books with us. And we'll like take lines from books that we're reading or books that we've read in the past and then kind of rewrite them together. So it almost feels like neither of us have written these songs. It was written by something or someone else, which is a nice, easy way to collaborate, bringing in other modes of creativity.
Yeah. Should we move on to the random questions?
Yeah, let me restart the cameras.
Yeah. One of the cameras shuts off after 30 minutes, so I'm going to make sure it's still going.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. Oh, battery?
Battery. You guys have such a calming energy. It's very nice.
Thank you. It is nice having more like air.
Little white noise.
Yeah, not people trying to walk in while we're recording. Yeah, we were right by like a window in a street, so people with their dogs and stuff would be like, "What are you doing in here?" Mid recording. There's also like a school right across the street, so it'd just be kids screaming. Yeah. It's a bouncy house and
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
So yeah, this is much better.
yeah.
We used to always have to set up our live session set every single time as well.
Yeah, like the red backdrop, and we had a.
You just set that up every time.
Yes, it took hours, tear down and set up.
Oh my god. Glad I didn't make you do that.
It was worth it though. It got us where we are now.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
It was totally. And then we had the hard sound cut off too.
Yeah, because we weren't technically supposed to be.
Doing that.
We got permission from the like building owner, but still like
if any type of
Chicago sound, they don't have control over that.
they'd
So
be like,
yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Really? Even for like interviewing?
For the live
Interviewing would be fine,
sessions.
but live sessions, we
Yeah,
would run
'cause
into
it'd get
trouble.
loud. 'Cause there were people who lived above the space, but it
Sure,
was
sure,
like
sure.
concrete between, so
Yeah.
it was. We never got any complaints.
It's funny to think about because like
I don't know how we made that.
whenever
work.
I hear loud noises, like I went to a backyard DIY venue for an event the other day, and they were playing. That's where I saw TV Buddha.
Oh, cool.
They're really good. And I was like, man, how is the neighborhood okay with this? Like, do they tell people around them? And
I
haven't thought until now that we didn't tell anybody anything.
Well, we
Did we?
told
Did you?
the building like management?
You'd be like, we're
talked
doing
to
it
them.
on this day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was not privy to that. Is the only
The
thing.
time I don't think was specific, but I would make sure beforehand that it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But still, that's not someone who's living there. That's just somebody
Yeah,
who manages
they're like,
the
yeah, sure.
apartment building.
Yeah, they have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, okay, so
Anyway.
we're at the point now where we just ask kind of random questions.
it's everyone's favorite part. I mean,
It is.
not to undersell it. It's the best part of the show.
First question. Since your album is coming out on Halloween, do you know what you're dressing up as for Halloween?
Yes, so we're all... Sorry, I'm not talking to the mic. We are all going to be in a band together wearing wizard costumes.
Wow.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
What's your wizard costume like?
I don't know yet. That I don't know.
Oh.
But I know I will be a wizard. I said no pointy hats, though.
That was my
Oh.
question.
No pointy
to know.
hats allowed.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Fake beard? Long
Maybe.
fake beard?
Yeah, maybe long fake beard. I don't know.
Staff of some kind?
I do...
What type of wizard are you leaning towards?
Well, I definitely can't do a staff because I'll be playing guitar.
Sure.
But that would be
Well, not
cool.
with that attitude. But maybe you could like work something into, I don't know, guitar staff.
Guitar staff.
Just a thought. You know,
I
just
don't
a thought.
know. Sue me. I did like these promo pictures in my grandfather's hat and coat. Which is very wizard like.
All right, that's a good start.
So maybe I'll wear that. The one thing is it's like made of sheep's wool. It's so hot.
Oh
so I might,
shit! Yeah, that.
but it is
yeah.
long and it's dark.
Yeah,
So-
great. So you'll be sweating and you'll trip in it.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect for a show.
Yeah, that'll be good. What show is that you're gonna dress up for?
For my album release on November 1st, which
I'm
is the day after.
I got a thing to read off at the end of the episode to promo it.
Oh,
all the information.
Oh, you've got the script over there.
I got the script.
All right.
Yeah.
Or
nice.
sorry, Meriah has the script.
I have the script.
All right. Well, that'll be good.
Who would be your dream artist to collaborate with? Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Or if it's easier to just do alive, we can do that too. Because that's a big question.
That narrows it down.
Yeah.
Yusuf Islam, Cat Stevens. Yusuf Islam.
Yeah.
I'd love to collaborate with Cat Stevens.
I could see that overlap. Yeah.
I love him.
Did you see he just canceled his U.S. tour?
No. I got a promo email about it, though.
He canceled his U.S. tour because he's being charged too much, like, to come and play. Like, tariffs and shit.
Yeah, right.
Tariffs probably isn't the right word. But whatever is, he can't get a visa in time, I think, is basically what it is. So he's just like, sorry. Like,
where's he
really
living
tried.
now?
He's in England somewhere or some shit. I don't know. But that's a good answer.
He just put out a book. Or am I making that up?
Probably.
I sometimes get book promo emails to the Amplified email, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with it.
Ask for a review copy. That's what you should do. That would be awesome.
I've thought about it. None of them have been, like, caught my attention enough, but we'll see.
Book
Maybe
publishers, I'm not speaking from a place of knowledge. Book publishers just want to get rid of as many review copies as they can. Right. They'll send whatever they can. They do not care. One book is nothing to them. So we'll have to start doing that.
We'll review it on the podcast. All the book publishers, send us your stuff.
Open call. I think we should bring this back. Do you believe in ghosts? And do you have any stories of ghastly apparitions?
Yes, I do. And it's actually funny that you are asking me this today because I was on WBEZ yesterday telling a ghost story.
NPR?
I was literally, I got called into NPR.
When's it airing?
It's airing, I think, on Halloween, actually.
Damn.
This will
I'll
be
have
out
to
before.
turn my radio on.
Yeah.
We're covering the story before they are.
We're scooping.
Yeah, you guys can put the
Sorry,
story
NPR.
out before.
Yeah.
Damn, I love those guys. Did you get to meet Aisha Roscoe?
No, we did it over Zoom. I was with, I can't remember their names, Justin and someone else. They're doing Curious something. Story.
Curious City.
Curious City. It's I like don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Big NPR guy over here.
Yeah. So you're meeting someone who was just on NPR.
Shit. I wish, if only we had met you before, which we did, then we could have gotten you to, I don't know, say hi or something.
For you
I
guys.
don't know.
Well, it is
hey,
funny.
Amplified Chicago says hi.
You're like, whoa.
You're going to be on Amplified Chicago tomorrow?
It is funny that, I guess, was it yesterday? It was maybe 2 days ago. But it, so yes, I believe in ghosts. And I could tell you the story, but I also could save it for
you son of a
NPR.
God damn it, we got scooped. Shit.
Man.
Wow.
Give us like a little teaser of it to draw people in.
I can give you a teaser.
Yeah.
I lived in a co-op, a cooperative living situation during COVID. And one time the basement was open. In my garage, there was like a door leading into the basement. And I went into the basement and I saw chicken feathers, goat skulls, and pentagrams on the walls.
Whoa.
And freaked out. Long time passes. There were some dreams that were had from some people thinking, people were turning into things, like transmuting into things. And we did power was lost and we needed the keys to the basement to like get, to do our breakers and stuff. So we ended up having keys then to the basement a year later, and we did some research and we found out that there was a group of folks practicing a religion called Palo Mayombe, which is an offshoot of Santeria. It's an Afro-Cuban...
The Sublime song?
Yeah, the Sublime song. No, religion. But yeah, the Sublime song, based on Santeria.
Nice.
And then ended up finding out that there was a place called the Palo Mayombe Botanica in Humboldt Park, little storefront that had people that practiced the religion, Palo Mayombe. So we ended up going there and talking with them about how we can either, we think we've disturbed some spirits in our basement, like what do we do? And he gave us this ritual to do. And it was a bigger ritual, but the main thing was that we had this fire lit. And what we said was, If you are a spirit of light, please take this fire as warmth to allow you to stay peacefully in our basement. And if you're a spirit of darkness, please take this fire as a light to guide you out of our basement.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
And within a few seconds, the fire went out.
Whoa.
So that was my first
Wow.
real intense meeting with a ghost.
That's a big one.
And NPR loved it. They ate it up.
Damn it. Shit. They're going to fucking sound design the hell out of it, too.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like you're going to hear the fire go out.
Yeah.
And
Do you think they'll do all that?
I don't know. I haven't listened to Curious City, but I know the advertisements on the Western Brown Line stop.
Yeah, okay.
And he's
cool.
looking with the magnifying glass.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because we applied 3 years ago and they never got back to us.
That's how you got on? You just applied?
They were doing a Halloween thing and we applied, and then they reached back and they were like, "Hey, do you have your landlord's number? We want to contact your landlord." And we were like, "No, this was years ago." So they never responded. But then they replied this year and they were like, "Hey, we remembered your awesome story. We called them about the story. We left a voicemail," and then they were like, "We want to interview you for the story." Because it's a really long story, and we kind of are involved loosely with these cult practitioners.
Wow.
And this huge building burnt to the ground. There's it's a deep story.
Wow.
That's what the guy from Warner Bros. Meant when he was like, if you're reaching out, it's probably not the time.
Right.
NPR was like, a year later, they were like, all right.
Now's the
right.
time.
And I really wanted to be like, by the way, I've got this show on November 1st for Hideout. But I held myself back.
You had to find a way to work it in, right?
The ghost should have said
"And
that.
on the third anniversary
Yeah.
of this incident, November 1st, my show. Yeah. Damn.
We get such good answers from that question.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a really good one. Meriah told a whole story that's in a lost episode of Amplified somewhere because it had some.
I saw something once.
What'd you see?
Should
It
we
was-
tell now?
Yeah, tell it now because then it
got
won't be lost.
Before.
Okay. I guess it is
Unless our
this will be the
microphones get
October.
messed up again.
That is, maybe that
Yeah,
was
could have been
the issue.
Inspectors.
So I went to a Montessori school from preschool to 6th grade. This was 5th or 6th grade. Fridays we had game day and we could just kind of roam the school and play games and do what we wanted. It wasn't very monitored. Yeah. We were not associated with the church, but we were in the basement of a church building. So setting the scene for kind of creepy, spooky, old historic spot. So we were in this long hallway that went outside to our playground, which was the woods, which I don't think I got into that before.
It's a real Montessori ass.
Yeah. We would play fairies in the wood. It was pretty cool. So it was long hallway, dark, no windows. We were down there telling ghost stories at the very end of the hallway, and I started to get freaked out. I had this weird feeling. I started running back to the door to go back to the lit area, and so we all started running back because I freaked other people out because I was scared. And then me and my friend, this is my friend who just texted me, by the way, who I hadn't spoken to in forever, the same person. We looked back and there's this archway in the middle of the hallway, and we both saw it's a shadow of a man basically just standing there for a split second. And I said, "Did you see that?" And she went, "Yeah, did you see that?" And I didn't trust that she would tell me the truth, so we went into separate rooms and drew what we saw without telling each other, and we drew the same thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was like, I need evidence of this because nobody's going to believe me. And I looked into it, and there's other people have had that experience of shadow figures. There was nothing in there that would have been, nobody else was in the hallway. Nothing would have projected a shadow in that spot. It wasn't also on
You guys
anything.
were also kids, and this was
Yes.
a man's shadow.
Yes. It was a tall man just standing there
Ugh,
in
hate that.
the air. It wasn't on a wall or anything.
Right,
It was
right.
in this archway.
It's a silhouette.
So yeah, that got me. That was my experience where I was like, I can't explain that.
That's good.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I got no ghost stories, but I've got a little brother and my sister. I was the youngest for a while. I have an older sister, older stepbrother, and now I have a younger brother. But before that, I was the youngest, and they loved to terrorize me. So it was always stories of, oh, there's a ghost in the basement. blah blah blah. But my sister's like really into that shit. Not in like a weird level, but like just in like a like spooky stuff.
Curiosity.
Yeah. So I have a younger brother, and when he was a baby, babies always do weird shit. She was like all about all the stuff he would do, because it would be like, he'd be like, and he'd go and like open up the closet and like start giggling or something. Mm-hmm. And then he kept doing that, and then my sister Addie was like, Wes, like what's up? Is there, what are you doing? What are you laughing at? He was like, oh, I'm playing with my friend or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like shit like that, where it's like, yeah, definitely spooky, but like he's a little kid. Like that could be his imagination.
Right.
I'm not going to be like Ghost because a 3-year-old was like, I saw a guy over. You're never going to believe it, but I just saw a guy. Right. It's like, you don't know what numbers are. So I don't know if I can really trust you here.
People say that it's the kids who see it the most because you're more connected to like not being alive.
I say it's because kids are dumb as shit.
That too.
And you can quote me on that. Taking a stance against children.
Amplified
Will hates kids.
Honestly, that'd be cool. I honestly think like
cool. Yeah.
He'd be good. I think
NPR is never gonna do that.
You guys could
shit.
take the next step.
Yep. That's a good shirt. Amplified hates kids.
That's actually.
Mm-hmm. Any other wacky questions? Do we want to end on a what's your favorite fall/Halloween movie?
Did you read that? Because I had that written down.
I read that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite like fall Halloween movie.
Favorite fall Halloween movie.
Actually, a shadow man told me that I should ask that question next.
Whoa.
Honestly, this is the one that is coming to my head. I don't think it's my favorite movie, but it's just like the one that's bumping in my head a bunch. And I did watch it last fall for the first time, and I remember it being like, whoa, this is awesome. It's called Face Off.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
With
yeah.
What are their names again?
It's Nick Cage
and John Travolta.
I hate John Travolta.
But you
gotta watch
scary
this
fall
movie.
John Travolta, that adds up.
It's not scary.
But he's scary.
Awesome.
Yeah. They switch faces. They switch.
He takes his face off.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Never
just to give you the
that.
synopsis.
Okay.
Nick
it's like
Cage
FBI.
is a terrorist,
I feel like I got it already.
and John Travolta's like an FBI, and John Travolta. It opens with John Travolta shooting his son. Wait, no, sorry. It opens with Nick Cage shooting John Travolta's son.
Right.
Whoa. Okay.
And then it like flashes forward.
And then there's that weird like face thing.
Yeah, they did. He does that to like his son. That's like how they
interact,
show they love each other or something.
They, like, touch each other's
Great audio content, but just watch the movie.
Yeah, they do.
It cuts to the future, and John Travolta is like, I'm finally gonna catch Nick Cage. He's doing something crazy, and this giant action set piece happens. First 15 minutes, and then John Travolta captures Nick Cage, and then the FBI chief is like, Nick Cage, we are gonna send you undercover into FBI guys like John Travolta. We're gonna send you undercover into Nick Cage's terrorist organization, and to do it, we're gonna take his face off and put it on yours, but we're gonna have to take your face off too. And then Nick Cage wakes up and he's like, I'm taking John Travolta's face, and then he goes and like gets all in his family life,
It's like Freaky Friday. It's like 1999.
John Woo. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just so.
I
honestly, it might
that.
not be 99.
It's right. I think Mission Impossible 2 is 2000.
We can't get into the
or
Mission
1999,
Impossible.
and that was also directed by John Woo. So I'm gonna say like 98 or something.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Okay, I'll add it to my
list. It's so stupid. It is.
But it's like actually an amazing. Like it's stupid, but it's like.
But he's a great
well
director.
performed.
Yep.
The directing
acting
is amazing.
Their asses off.
So good.
Because they're both capital A CTORS actors. Like they're like crazy. So they're both trying to out crazy each other on a performance level. Yeah. I've been trying to get Izzy to watch it. It's so good.
Yeah. So
fall movie night.
I'm glad I hooked you with that.
Yeah, that's a great choice.
Yeah, that's maybe
great
my
choice.
favorite fall movie because I watched it last fall and it felt amazing to me.
And it's set in Los Angeles, and anytime in Los Angeles could be the fall. So
exactly,
there's a case to be made. But yeah, that's pretty good. What do we got?
Okay, I'm gonna read my thing now.
Oh.
Okay. The album is coming out October 31st, Halloween. And the album release show is November 1st at the Hideout. It is a costumed event, so show up in a costume. The other artists performing are Samuel Aaron, friend of the podcast, and Aunt Kelly. I don't know Aunt Kelly, but could be a friend of the podcast.
So
soon.
Good. Such a good artist.
Also, upcoming stops on tour, Burlington, Boston, Brooklyn, and Philadelphia. So go to all those shows.
See, she's never done that before.
What?
Written it out like that.
I haven't. It's
so
because we're more professional
special.
now.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So
that was good.
Yeah, go to those things. We'll link them in the description too.
Anything you'd like to add?
Thanks so much for having me. I hadn't known about y'all until Smushy got involved, and y'all are so nice, and so immediately reached back to me when I was like, "Hey, what if we did this?" So that's cool.
Yeah,
y'all are real ones.
We had you in last week. We did a live session with Smushy, which will come out at some point.
Yeah, that'll be the second live session we release.
Yes.
So probably like November is my guess.
Yeah. So there's that to look forward to. There's the album. There's all types of good stuff. But yeah. Anything else? Are we all set?
I think that's it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back around at some point soon.
Bye.
Bye.